Hello, it is string 1 of 5, most certainly, of the Candlepin Pro Series 2 p.m. shift of the singles elimination tournament. That hit all the boxes. We are here in O'Lindy's Bowling Center Billiard Hall in Quincy, Massachusetts. My name is Greg Gouillart, and I'm alongside Kevin Burns.
Starting off is Corey Packard on the right and Jimbo A.R. on the left.
Many-time Bowler of the Year and Pro Series champion, not most recently, but frequently. Corey Packard, international champion with Team Academy Lanes, the shirt he wears now. Two great head pin hits for both of them. We saw a lot of the women in the 11 a.m. shift. What doesn't go straight back for Packard, no dice. Ayotte spares, nice and easy. 10-boxer Packard. This 2 p.m. shift filled up, so a fuller house here at the 16-lane Wood Lane Bowling Center. Let's see, Tim Jalbert, and I believe this to be Brian Allard on lane 13 eventually, and then Troy Fournier and Scott Douglas have positions at lane 14. We'll confirm. Packard, oh no, that looked pocket.
That was evil.
And we got that robbery on video. Ayotte, he's dug in. Yes, that's 9. 19 to start.
Two planks out in front. Corey has to bring something out the wall. It does, but it goes straight back.
Yeah, it's going to split this wood, and it cooperates good. I was worried the two pieces would diverge away. Instead, 29 plus through 2.
Yeah, clears his left gutter.
Now here's some pedantry. ICBA rulebook says no deliberately dropping balls on the approach. Was that not that just then? Just to clear the wood?
I don't know.
It wasn't like thunking it down on the ground.
No.
Backwards ball is very powerful, but sometimes has the tendency to go straight into the foul line. It's very powerful either way. It does not matter.
Oh, yeah.
That actually did just do that just then. It's a half a Worcester this time, but it has delivered explosive results either way. Jimbo, Ayotte strike on spare. Explosive start.
49 after 3 plus 2 balls.
We are getting spoiled. A good pro average is 120 in Candlepin bowling. Ayotte's already looking to go higher than that in this string.
And Corey with the 1, 4, 6, 7, 10. And he'll take a 6.
It's a tough sledding there. It looks like Packard had a good start to the string, but has no marks to show for it. That frame got away from him. But you'd still think a lot of room to go up from here.
Corey, oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I believe both bowlers, as Ayotte misses a double by 1 stick. I believe both bowlers want to get on the left side. It's Packard's delivery that I really need to ask him about because I'm not honestly sure. I think he wants to get in the 1-2 with his ball. It's sort of an anti-Craig Holbrook, or I think Craig Holbrook actually wants to live in the right side pocket with his ball. No, Ayotte's missed this one, though. Phil is 9.
And there goes his string of marks. Good bill.
That's 8. We'll stick with 9 on that one.
In terms of Corey's ball, it's hitting on the foul line, but it's on the lane itself. It's not on the approach.
Yes.
But he is dropping it because his ball is a lot smoother than that.
Yeah. His drops don't always cost him, though. Let's see, though. This looks further out there. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my.
I mean, clearly
I can't explain this. I mean,
this is not head-to-head. Ayotte is clearly having no trouble with the lanes at all. 5 quality head pin hits, 67 through 4. Packard, meanwhile, has the W. Object again. Only 6 so far. Jimbo. 4-7 goes. 77 plus at the half. The Ray Bork special, let's say.
You're bringing hockey into it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to eat real quick, right?
I have multiple favorite sports, in fairness. But this is Candlepin Bowling. We love it.
All right, I'm going to have a quick bite, and I'll be back.
Sounds good. Brian Allard and Mark Smith. Any crossover between Candlepin and Duckpin, asks a viewer. Yes, and we actually had John Blaze earlier. A lot of bowlers will excel at both small ball, 3-ball games. The balls are a pound different, and some say that might throw them off. I recall a interview on the Approach podcast. You can view it on all your usual suspects for podcasting, where I believe it was Tom Olst that said, I've tried to go from Candlepin to Duckpin, and that's tough to do. Spare Allard. Brian Allard's on 10 and a ball. Smith pins out well for 10. Smith wearing the Stars and Strikes in the South Paris, Maine bowling shirt. Lindy says some good fare there. Gotta check out some of the grub myself. Haven't had the chance to do it and do a totally objective food review myself. Great food, great beer though. A 7 drop for Allard. Smith runs it down, including the 9-pin and back. All the pins to start. Allard denied by the head pin. Now doesn't have a good out for 10, but one more pin gets 9. Gets it, good. That's 9. Good to see you, Michael, in chat. Reviewing your comments. Big favor if you wouldn't mind hitting the like button on this video, that thumbs up button. On either platform you're watching, on Facebook or YouTube, we greatly appreciate your support just by watching. The thumbs up like button. Diamond for Allard, spread eagle for Smith on that spare. Trying to cut into the 3-6. Now Allard. Diamond, interesting, he would have collected that back triangle. He would have converted a wrong way triangle were that the leave. $8 and a 9. Only one way to make a certain number of leaves, and you never know which one it'll be certain times. 35 and 32. Aaron St. Cyr converts all his pins on lane 15. You see him on the right. Previous playoffs champion when the finals took place at Leda Lanes. Allard the half Worcester. 3-1 split for Smith. Mark Smith got a pin to come off the sidewall, no go. Allard caught a piece of the head pin. He thinks that was a good hit. I thought so too. Pins were clattering, but not the 5. Smith takes 9. Allard takes 10. More great coverage coming up week of November 4th. Let me get these calendar dates correct for you. Yes, November 4th through 9th, Men's International. Singles on Monday, playoffs Tuesday through Saturday. 9 drops Smith, his best look. Allard, oh boy, entire back row. Just didn't drive into the pocket in the pin's opinion. 3 pieces of wood, but do the 2 halves connect is the problem. The road to 10 is pretty clear. Wood is connecting the 7-8 and the 9-10 respectively. Anything coming off the wall? No, just the 9-10. Smith missed his opportunity. Now gets it for the 10. A 51.5. $9 for Allard. And it brings up the third bowlers. This is Troy Fournier. And Tim Jalbert. Two great stories in their own right. Tim Jalbert, on the men's international finalist, speaking of that tournament with Fenway Academy. Troy Fournier, a league bowler turned pro bowler, really, has been bowling an increasing amount of streams, including our Candlepins for Cancer live show. And just seems to get better and better by the day. Case in point, a 9-drop. Jalbert's got a powerful delivery, and he runs down 8. Fournier spares. Easy with the wood in front. Could not drop in the gutter by rule. That's an obvious rule to any pro bowler. Done deal. I've missed a development here. Now, I missed a development here, and I'm not sure if I've... But it looks as though, based on the pacing, it looks as though this is a redone first box. I'm going to go investigate. Say, Kevin, would it be possible to investigate what happened on that first box? I'm just trying to figure out. There might have been a replay situation. Or maybe I'll ask again later. I'm gonna put a 10 box on the board right now. Actually, don't worry about it. I'll research that later. 3 pins taken out. Whatever the situation was, it looked as though Tim Jalbert had to redo it. I think got thrown off and unfortunately threw his first ball away and wasn't able to go from there. Fournier trying to work out of the half Worcester here. What's coming in front of the head pin? He's actually going to spill the 8 pin out, but this won't go. That's 10. All the pins for Fournier through 2. 2 out for Jalbert, that's 9. Tim Jalbert also a part of Team Academy 2 in the Friday Night Pro League. 3-1 split for Fournier, spread eagle for Tim Jalbert. Cuts the 3 pins. That 2 pin went behind the 6, unfortunately. Jalbert, look at the action going side to side, but left up the 3-4-10. Not quite the pins he's after on that one. This would be some out. That's a pretty good one. Here comes wood, in fact. Don't hit that button too soon. It's 9. The pin setter does not come until you press the button, unless you're in a certain open bowling house with the automatic setting on. But a lot of centers, even those who have been recently installing those new Cubica systems, very much a port over from mainstream bowling, they've done it in such a way that you can still use the manual reset customary to this sport. Yikes, another eagle.
Back to back.
How's the grub here, Kevin?
Yeah, it's all right.
I'll try it anyway. Looks like the prices are quite reasonable, too. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, you might want to be careful. There's a $15 minimum on your debit card, though.
But they do take card. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm all for it.
Okay.
10 bucks. I mean, credit card processing fees can go really high. I know there are some processors that, promise, we can try and mitigate it, but it really is, businesses bear the brunt of the credit card processing fee, but for, interestingly, the one I work with in my day job, because we work on commissions and literally can't do that. It would just magnify and just blow it out of proportion. apologies to every single person who has had to do one of those phone calls and say, we got virtual card. No, sorry, we can't. It's just not, it ain't gonna happen. And that's accounting. That's boring. That strike by Fournier is exciting. 52+2 at the half.
So I had a couple hot dogs, and Terry Ann had the mozzarella bites. She said they were okay, not really worth the money though. But if you're going to get the hot dogs, they're definitely worth it.
Can Gouillart split this wood? He's on the right side. It comes across.
And the ball came back too. The ball literally landed in front of the 7th pin.
Kitchen sink. This plank goes straight back. Surely. Yep. 10. Gouillart to 46.5. It's well pinned and he's capable of much higher, so I don't think he'll be in too much of a hurry, even though he will be disappointed with that half.
Let's see if Corey can get out of his head here.
It's a surprise to be sure, but remember, 3 splits. Splits make the pinning that much harder, which is a harsh penalty considering the head pin was hit.
That's a little bit better. That's
missing the head pin and getting better, yes.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, with it.
With a strike. And I tell you, there was just, you could tell with that arm motion, just the oomph that Jimbo can put on that ball. Second to very few. It's not a run-up delivery. It's just so much torque in his arm motion. And it is so effective, and it is leading to an incredible score through 6. Backwards 1-2. Connect, and there's his first mark.
That gets him on the board. I noticed that we have Mark Hollywood-Smith with us right now.
We do indeed.
And every mark he got during the Miss World, he was like, mark it down, mark it down.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's market, even though Paul thought it was mark it down.
There's some stuff you just can't get out of your head, and that's one of them. He dropped it again. But this time he buried the head pin, but he left in a favorable pay bail.
Oh, look at this. It's
a double.
A double strike for Jimbo Ayotte, and this just keeps getting better and better. He is 47 over par. Could be 67 over by the time the 7th box is over.
Oh, Corey almost filled it out.
Hay bale could be clattering forwards. 10. Haven't really gotten a whole lot of pins from behind action, which is probably how it should be anyway. You should have to hit your pin from the front to get it. Spare smudge goes away. That's 63 through 7. Double strike smudge for Ayotte. Not a head-to-head match. We're all bowling in our own right, men and women along the lanes. I think we're going to get all men on this one, but a lot of great ladies coming through on the 11 a.m. shift in the previous broadcast. Packard.
Worcester.
Into the 3 pin this time. It's 5, so we'll update the strike field accordingly. 122 through 7. And another ball working. So it's 112 through 6, excuse me, is how I should say that. Let's see. Rips out the 4 pins and behind. That's all count.
131 through 7. Wow. It's 7 bars for Corey. Corey's saying it's 7 right now.
It's a head scratcher, quite literally in this case. I think he's now trying to make an adjustment in effect.
He had the adjustment that when he made the spare, his first spare. But then I don't know what happened. I mean, it's hard to explain.
Superstitiously, I wonder if sometimes a ball works, certain balls, the way one throws it, is working better on the corner pin than on the head pin. Now, that's not good Candlepin tactics. You should try to hit the head pin. But if your ball happens to be working on the side pins, maybe, just maybe, that could be good enough for an adjustment.
Okay, you know how at Lita, I mean, during the Worlds I say this a lot. If you're bowling on 1 through 18 at Lita, you do not want to be on the head pin because you're going to split and you're going to punch. But if you're on 19 to 36, Hit the headpin all you want, and you're going to get the splash.
The two sides of the house behave differently. Aod, oh no! He's on his object pin, but the triangle number 6 denies him.
Access denied.
Trips on the front
just
wood.
wasn't there.
9 box. 150 through 9. So looking for the 160s. Hope somebody remembered to pay in the high single pool. Sure, you'd think so. That's
Well,
Tim.
with the way the AI pulls, I wouldn't be surprised if he is in the high single pool. This is probably the highest match we've seen all day.
You better be. Oh,
Oh,
no.
God.
So Packard is now probably stuck in the 80s. Little column A, little column B. You could nitpick. Maybe you could have gotten a few more pins here and there, but this just was a string that was doomed to not be 100 either way. So really, that was a good bit of the eagle, too. That's harsh.
You know, I feel for him because I know how he feels. That's something I would do. And you know that.
Yeah.
So
Correct facial reaction. But still 4 strings to go. That's a good out for Aot. He's got 8 and a 1-5-8. What a way to start it.
what a way to, if this were head to head, Corey would have a mountain to climb.
Which is interesting because the headpin accuracy was similar between the two of them. Again, not head to head, but Aot got 8, Packard got 7, but Corey Packard victimized by 5 splits. And one of those, he had a cluster of 5 when he came up short on that headpin. This is Mark Smith, 4-6.
I had the exact same lead the other night. And what I tried to do was bank that piece of wood off the wall to come back.
Ooh.
And he almost pulled it off.
Got an almost cut there. Allard can't get it on the 1-2. All he gets. A 10 for Smith. He's having a tough go with splits as well. He's had 3 in the past 4. And Allard comes away with 10. We like the challenge, but it drives us nuts at times. A half Worcester. Allard gets a skinny piece of the headpin. Interesting. Wood came screaming off the wall and collected the 2-4-7. Not sure that's made the leave terribly appetizing, though. Has to leverage this wood. That looked like fair contact, but doesn't actually go, and now it all disappears. Pick 1 for 9. Ouch. That'll be 5.
He almost pulled it off.
So Allard takes a 9 on this one. It's not all 150s and sunshine all the time.
Nope. Not in this day and age.
Smith gets a 9 drop. Good look at that 7 pin. Allard takes out 5 on the corner. Just another reason you don't miss the head pin on purpose. Otherwise, you just, I mean, he makes the 3 and 2 split that way, interestingly, but that just doesn't. Now he's got a bigger mess. Connected for the spare for Smith. Close Allard all the way around. The King's Fortress falls. But lo and behold, the King stands. He said in probably one of the most heretical Don Gillis impersonations ever. A 10. This is Candlepin Bowling Network on Facebook and YouTube. Great to see you all here. Yes, that is a 158. We did not typo on that. Aot off to a hot start. Great to have you here live and on demand on YouTube. Smith gets a plank nicely in front. 19 and probably another. Uh-oh, Allard's got the 2-7, 9-10.
And not a favorable piece of wood. Mark it down for Mark.
Allard trying to lever his wood. Got the 2-pin on the way through and the 9. Now the corner stand.
Nico wanted to know who's doing the Worlds.
You and me, Paul and Bob. We had Dan Castle last time. I do not believe he will be making the journey this time. The shorter journey, albeit. I believe we'll have another rotating cast of commentators, though.
Yeah, because that's a lot of work for 4 guys to do.
Tough split for Smith. He's got 5 on this. 3-pin is out in front. It's doable. Look at that sidewall action, but it just doesn't go. Allard again is wood in front, but the more important one is the piece of wood nestled in the middle of the 135.
What are you doing?
No, that's not what he wanted.
No, that's why I said, what are you doing?
like in the same vein of how did that get there? Oh no.
Yeah.
$10 and a 101.
That's why that's one of those where I can't, keep my mouth shut about it, because that's not a that's nothing. That's something you should not do.
52.
I'm sorry to say, but
52 plus 2 for Fournier. Now he's up here.
he's going to give AR a run for his money. Jalba's up as well.
They'll need a lot of bonus spins to run down Ayot's total. Not that it matters in this first string. He gets a check mark to begin.
AR with some crazy action behind the headpin.
Neat sticks in the strike. Gets 2 more for 8.
Don't hurt him. Billy nicked the headpin.
Not enough gas for the 8-pin back there, or whatever fuel source you will.
Gas, rocket fuel. I mean, well, that's actually gas.
Maybe cooking oil one day.
Yeah,
there was some unique fuel source. I don't think it was that, but I'm trying to remember. It was a...
And we got that on tape. Nico.
Don't yell too much, but the ball deflected off the pin in front, and Fournier would have made Jalbert's leave or something like that.
Nico, take a video of that.
Oh, sorry to peak the audio levels, folks, but
Wow.
the ball caromed off the wood in front trying to clear it, and it just went into lane 13 from 14 to 13.
And luckily the ball stayed in the pair that they're bowling on. Oh, my God.
That would have interfered with another box, yeah. Know your ICBA rules. That'd be a redo.
Yep.
Keep your fill, redo the frame. Left side wood, yes, Jalbert's got this one. 7, 9, 10. Only his first spare, can you believe?
Wow. You really got to take, Nico, you really got to do a video of that, because you don't see that too often.
I remember there was one time an ACST match where someone threw a pin into the other person's channel, and then the shot was denied. I think because a viewer comment called my attention to it. Thank you. We do read your comments against our better judgment, although most of you are amazing. So, hey. I think JJ Tarigny was involved in it on one side or the other. You know, they always say internet comments are dangerous things to read, but you guys are awesome, honestly.
Some of them are.
Yeah, it's the internet. People
Yeah.
can say whatever they want, but most people are nice. Ooh, 3-in-1 split, and Jalbert back-to-back, and that's a dandy.
I think he's saying to Fournier, you throw a ball in my lane, I'm just going to make the shots.
Oh, that's ahead, boys. It is an 8-box for Fournier, me craning my head trying to see if a sleeper was there. Alas, I tried to get a pin cam up, but it just would not take. Hopefully I haven't blown the motor out. Otherwise, that's going to probably be me, because we literally just got it. Ugh, brother. 7 drop. Tim imitating split motion there. That's a great leave, though. Fournier, yes. Woods right in front covering it all. And Jalbert missed a single, though. Still, he's got those 15 bonus pins, so just like that, the power you just thought was going to come sooner or later does work out. Doesn't get a third ball either. That'll be 9.
100 even.
Yes, Nico did see it, by the way.
Okay. Yeah, because he got LOL. I'm reading. I have the stream on. I'm watching the comments through the YouTube part, just so one of us can get to the comments quick. What a leave.
4, 5, 7, 10. Fournier got 7, not another. Maybe. I'm not sure a ball fits through that gap. Jalbert doesn't think so either.
On.
He's trying to go at it. Made the setback, not the 10.
The setback does go.
It goes when it doesn't matter. That's peak Candlepin trolling. 10 and 10. Jalbert 110, Troy Fournier 113. And we will be right back with string number 2 in just a moment.
Instant replay on that.
Welcome back, string number 2 of 5. Yes, that is him in the same pink shirt. Jason Gauthier Jr., JB Gauthier.
Mr. 200.
And the last Pro Series event at Academy Lanes, he rolled a 200 in qualifier. Unfortunately not right in front of our cameras, so one now please. Aya, meanwhile, dished a huge string of 158. He starts off with perhaps the first split he's looked at all day. Olindy's Bowling Center and Billiard Hall in Quincy, Massachusetts. Aya didn't even want to try that front wood. He just wanted to cut it over. I think I said JB Gauthier Jr. as I was enthusiastically calling his 200, but I'm not sure that's technically right since JB differentiates him from Gauthier Sr. A 10 and an 8 to begin. My name's Greg Gouillart. I'm alongside Kevin Burns here on Candlepin Bowling Network on Facebook and YouTube. We're back with the restream. Had the weird technical settings that made us only go on YouTube for a long while, and Paul will still do that, including with his coverage out of Newport Entertainment Center, which I believe may be on same network, same time, in fact, on YouTube, Candlepin Bowling Network. He'll be on YouTube only, though, in this case. Now Jimbo's got the splits on 14 all of a sudden. New lane, new shenanigans, I suppose. Oh, got away on the 3-pin. Spares are the primary driver of scores, but you want to make sure to get those pins and support that score.
Yeah, he's live now.
A 7 and a 6.
I can commentate, and you can do the schoolboy while you eat.
Sounds good. I got some good Olindy's grub here, mozzarella sticks. I'll be right back.
As usual. Everywhere you go. Everywhere you go. Hey, with the bomb, drops 9. It's a strike. Gauthier Jr. leads a side sails triangle. Just nicked the object pin, leads the 5 and the 9. And it's a 9 box. 23 at the 3, 27 plus 2 balls for Ayot. Yeah, out the hairpin leaves a full horseman plus 2, which is the 6 and 10. Gauthier Jr. leads the 5 and 10 with a plink next to the 5. AR just punches out the 2 pin, leads the clip eagle. 5 on a strike. Gauthier Jr. just went a little wide. Nine for Gauthier Jr., 6 for Ayot. Ayot punches a half whistle. Gauthier Jr. leads a 3-1 split. Triangle up front. 2, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, nice offer. This might go. He has a piece of wood on the outside. Oh, it does go. Pretty shot. And 7 for Gauthier.
Now up Brian Allard on lane 14 and John Zappi on lane 13.
John Zappi, a future Hall of Famer. And I'm pretty sure my partner will agree with me on that. Oh, yeah, he does. Enjoying your mozzarella sticks everywhere he goes. Al punches the triangle. I heard that. Zappy draws 7, was a 1, 3, 10. 1, 2, 10, actually. Nice offer by Al. No luck. Oh, Zap with a beautiful shot. Just
Gotcha, not half.
nice 10 by Al. And Zappy is mashing. Al crosses over in the pocket. He leaves a half busher standing in a 10 with a plank in the between. Zap drops 6. He leaves the 1, the head pin. Oh, nice offer. Leaves the 10. Piece of wood goes right in front of the 10. Didn't take it. Zappy plows right through the head pin. 9 for Al, 19 after 2. Zap with the 9, 19 after 2. Al in the park. Oh, just Mr. Parker drops 8. Zappy leaves the high-low. How the headband goes, leaves the 7-10. All kinds of wood on the deck. Al throws that one away. Missed opportunity. Zappy makes the 7-10 split for a spare.
And Allard takes 9. I finally returned from the land of magical mozzarella sticks. I like it. I don't know about you. I liked it. I'm down with it. I should have just told the guy, don't worry about the $15 card minimum. I'll just go with it. I'll tell it to him directly next time. Zappy will start off this time. He's got the 7 drop on the spare. A bad split, unfortunately. 5 and 7. Tough split in his own right. We're on Facebook and YouTube.
And also Paul Grant is on YouTube as well. I'm watching what he's covering. The main state tournament.
And a Newport Entertainment. Yes! 7 pins becomes 10. Zappy gets the spare. And I believe that's Allard matching. No, didn't he have the second ball first? The second ball second, I mean to say?
I think it was probably a 10.
Yeah, it's a 10 box. I'm looking at... Wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong score here. Yeah, no, it's a spare.
Okay.
Yeah, they're going left, right there, and that's a strike on spare. Allard turns it right around. Zappy, meanwhile, going to have to work for this one. Yeah, strike on spare is confirmed. I just saw the smudges from here. They aren't. There is a pro score system, which is the same one used at Woburn, the former FICO's, and in many 5-pin bowling centers. 4 becomes 7. But I think the bowlers preferred on this one to just use the paper scoring on this one. Very traditional, old school move here. Kind of like it. It was just put to a informal straw poll, and they said, like, we'll do paper, and everyone just agreed to it. Usually the automatic pin detection works out pretty well. Now, for the second time, we see a Maria's subs representative here. And 2 co-bowlers on the Hingham Friday Night Pro League team out of South Shore Country Club. Gouillart starts off strong on this one. He's got a spare to begin. John Winchell. I said in many words without saying his name for some reason. 1-7. Another alumnus of Channel 50 Bowling. He gets an 8. Gouillart of Team Fenway Academy. You'll see them back on the men's international stage.
They're going to come back for blood after what happened last year.
Nobody's going to get clubbed with a bowling pin, but yeah, they want to get back to the end.
Oh yeah, they do. It's hard to say who's going to be the favorite this year. I haven't seen all the list of teams, and it's kind of hard for me to do the paperwork that I need to make to get ready for the Worlds.
Good problem to have. Who wants to see Yankees Dodgers? Pfft, please.
Who said that?
Possibly Major League Baseball, if that's how the championship series shake out. Still on track as I speak. Winchell spares.
No, who told you that they want to see Yankee Dodgers?
Big market teams follow the money. You know, big major markets. At least you'd get their 2 actual uniforms as opposed to that one player's weekend where we missed an opportunity because they were wearing these monochrome oddities instead of their classics.
You know who I want to see? Mets Yankees.
Could happen.
I don't think the Guardians are going to make a comeback. There's no way.
Not looking good at this point, though. They got 6 runs on the board somehow. They did make it a close game, but close is still just losing, unfortunately. Winchell crushes 9 on this one. He's got a chance for another. Albert's got Dave Chestercove's favorite. Into the curtain, unfortunately. Needs an out. Tip of the wood, yes. Woo! And he turns around and he says, I didn't trust the front wood. That's why I didn't hit it. Tim Gouillart, a very good third ball. That collects the DC special. And that's 35 through 3, pin perfect. Remind me, Kevin, I think I tease our viewers too much because I say a thing and then I forget, but I want to check out scores after this string.
Okay.
Raise your microphone up, please. To your face. There we go. 2, 4, 6.
You want me to go check out the scores?
It doesn't have to be right now, I don't think, but a lot of people will be curious. Up to you.
I'm just trying to think if we should get...
Output. Oh, that's a beauty. Winchell runs it down perfectly. The geometry was all there, and that's 3 straight. Nine-box Gouillart. Half Worcester.
And Jeff just flexes his muscle and says, look at me, I'm a strong one, I'm a strong one.
Curiously, Gauthier set down a couple of his bowling balls next to our setup. I wonder why that is. It's not in her way. I'm just curious.
Probably a ball switch.
Maybe. Ooh, yes. 3 pins spills out from behind. Nope. Now he's ready to go get him. It's his turn now. Winchell. Oh, the 7 pin robs him.
So after this half, I think you should probably go see what the scores are. Oh, it's a 10 for Mr. Winchell.
66 half. I just don't know where they are specifically.
If you go into the back room where Ellie
Billiard
is.
hall? Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. Be right back.
Okay. So while Greg is going to get a score update, we have Jimbo Ayotte. Jim buries the pocket, at least punches an eagle +1. Gauthier goes off the headpin. Punches another.
Green, orange, and white.
Gauthier with a side cell triangle. A 7 box for Ayotte and a 10 for Gauthier Jr. 10 and 7.
Thank you very much.
So what's the update on the scores, Greg?
On my phone.
Ayotte in the pocket drops 8, leads to 5-9. Piece of wood nestles up right against the 5. And Gauthier leads a 3-1 split.
That's a lot of splits. What about the last box? He's had at least 3 in the past 4.
Yeah. Oh, just missed.
Wood blocked his way.
And the score is from Greg Gouillart.
Gouillart. Zaleski has 5.52. That's tops. We all highlighted her scores earlier, and she kept up the pace. I'll just read out these scores as well. 10 and 9 for Ayotte and JB.
You want me to read them?
Zaleski tops. No, thanks. I got it. Melanie Penny, we saw how powerful her bowling was. 549, including that 121 at the end. Then Sonia Rossi came in third, 519, and Brittany Underwood, 515. Rest of the field, sub 500. So there's your top 4 right there. Back to this, then I'll have the men.
Ayotte out the head pin leads the 1, the 2, and the 137. Gauthier with a weird split.
Another one. Oh, and this wood's disappearing too.
I
don't think there's a ball-sized gap there between the wood and the pin. No, Ayotte's one light again.
Yeah, there wasn't. Because he just went right for the 8-pin and then ball didn't even touch the cap.
Hate to see it.
That's a 9 for 9 and 9.
Oops. What the? Well, that was creative.
How the?
I didn't know I could break a stream in that fashion. That was incredible. That was not Illuminati text. I was literally just trying to read chat. Okay. Then I'm going to confidently do the same thing again and not have a go. Let's commentate the bowling. That's going better. Good leaves for both.
Oh, yeah.
2-4 for Ayotte. Again, just one pin. It's a recurring theme, unfortunately, and JB Gauthier gets his mark on the board after a bevy of disappointing first balls in his case. A lot of head pin hits, to be clear.
Somebody did ask, what's the cut? The cut is the top 24.
Right. So, 10 box there, and I can read after the first shift, John Blaze, speaking of Candlepin Duckpin crossovers, oh yeah, he's got 595. Nick Zuffalato, 593. Danny Harris, 588. Justin Waters, 585. Top 5 is rounded out by Travis Wallace, north of the border, 583. More in a second. Gouillart's got 5 on this one. Hey, there's that powerful ball we come to expect. No more multi-pin nonsense this time. He's going to be fine with this one, you would think, with the plank out in front. Way out in front, admittedly. Gone. 95 plus. Gouillart takes 9. Gets stuck with a 91, but that was a rather split-tastic 91, fortunately, and that's how it goes. Jim Nestor, 577. Richard Beveridge Jr., 569. Dean Sullivan, 551. Those are currently the top 8. Also, shout out Trevor Kennison, a name I seldom get to say, 540. And Chris Ryder, 532. That makes your top 10, in effect. Five pins for Aod, he exclaims. At least it wasn't a 99 game. 5 on the spare, sorry for not getting the smudge up. And now we go down to John Zappi and Brian Allard. Hey, 258, that's a 129 average for Jimbo through the first 2. Going left-right on this one. The lanes aren't attached anyway. It doesn't terribly matter. Really, they're 2 individual lanes. Zappi gets out 3 on the first one. Allard on a strike fill. A powerful one, 137. 6 out on this one. String 2 of 5. No dice for Allard. His strike fill is 8. Zappi collects his 10. Excuse me, that is a 7 fill in an 8 box, 73 through 6. We're playing for Pro Series points. Pro Series points are awarded to high finishers in qualifiers. Those are those scores I read out just now. And then for the men's tournament, there will be an elimination bracket, elimination tournament to come up. Top 24 will advance, top 8 get a first round bye. And then from there, half the field will be cut every round. 24 becomes 16 with the byes, and 8-4-2, unless there are carryovers like we had in Sanford last year. Zappi's first ball on the 5. Somebody's nacho order is dying on the pass. Brian Allard gets a 9.
I can picture Gordon Ramsay flipping out at that.
It's cold. What are we doing? Just 1 out for Zappi on the second ball. Needs an out on the 4 horseman right. Opposite his usual direction. Doesn't have his 1-2 pocket, so he'll need to go across. That's well done. 4 pins picked up on that ball alone.
And a strike for Allard.
His second one after that 20-box sequence earlier. Good string working for Brian Allard. As a result, the bowlers end up a box ahead, which again is completely standard. The lanes are not actually attached in any way. And even there, ball-for-ball play is subject to dispute among bowlers, even though it is the prevailing norm in the present day. 1-2, 8-10. Jester Cove's favorite for Allard. 1-2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 9. Box 8 spare try. Zappi overruns it. Yes, that is Craig Holbrook on lane 12. We'll see him in a second. Close one. There's a 3 and a 9 pin left up there, so the fill is 8. Nice out. As Kevin and I both said, 10 box there, his third. Allard gets an 8 in his 9th box, 108 through 9. All scores you see on your screen are unofficial, but we strive for accuracy. However, it is paper scoring, so error rates may increase. Zappy. It is his crossover side, unfortunately, and that's 4-5, 7, 8, 10.
Yuck.
Allard can't connect, but he's in the 1-teens. Zappy's try will be on the 4-pin and got the triangle out on the left side on his second ball. That's good pin work. 7 box for Allard, and with 2 strikes and a spare, he will sit down on 115. An 8 box for Zappy, 95. Now, Allard has stepped up again, so I must be off a box, apparently. Apologies, folks. Not quite sure how that occurred.
No, I think we're...
That's a strike for Zappy. Well, I'll look forward to debriefing that later. He has an 8 box. Zappy strikes on the end, 105 plus 2 through 10. I was so convinced they were a box apart, but apparently not. 5 on the first one. And all of them, and the fill is 10. 115 for Zappy. Which coincidentally matches Brian Allard's, even though it's not head-to-head. Now Tim Jalbert and John Winchell. Jalbert on 54 and a ball. So I wasn't making it up. Scott Douglas is in this shift. He's just on lane 11 right now. But he'll cycle through. Jalbert with the 4 horsemen to begin on the right side. Filling 6 on the count. Winchell, who had 3 straight spares, leaves the 10-pin. No, the wood went around the 10-pin somehow, some way.
It shook it.
Jalbert takes 9 on his. Whoops. That's better. And Winchell takes 10.
I wish I had that on tape.
Care to share with the class? It's up to you. You don't have to.
Terry Ann was taking a sip of my Coke, and she doesn't like warm soda, so she just gave the this warm kind of look.
Disaster. Diamond for Jalbert. John Winchell has the 4 horsemen and the 9-pin.
You know, speaking of being on tape, I remember doing the Agawam fundraiser with you and Paul.
For Candlepins for Cancer, yes.
And I remember you were videotaping handheld, and I was commentating all by myself, and you put the camera on.
That was an experiment. It was very Bowling Blair Witch Project.
Yeah, but yeah, you still put me on camera.
Diamond is pinned out for 10.
And of course, you were over there laughing your head off.
Winchell has been pinned perfect in the last 6, in fact. 3 spares and 3 10s now. And yes, I have a mischievous streak about me, I admit it.
Of course you do.
I just thought the world should know. I don't know.
It's not like the world doesn't know who I am.
But in case you don't, he's Kevin Burns and I'm Greg Gouillart. Tim Jalbert has the 4 horsemen and the 4 and 7. Diagonal cut can take this one. but it rings in front of the 4 and 7 instead.
And it takes up to 7.
Usually you'd think a strike-ish ball would take it, and it does for the 4th mark.
9-4. Jump.
88 through 8.
So for our viewers who are wondering what we have coming up, we have the Friday Night Pro League coming up on Friday, as usual. In a couple of weeks, we have the Men's Worlds coming from Leah Links and Nashua, starting with the singles event on Monday the 4th. And the whole entire week up until, I believe, Friday night is round robin, like league play. And the playoffs start Friday night, go all day Saturday with the finals, sometime Saturday afternoon.
Sorry, the table's jiggly. I'm sorry about that.
It's all right.
Spare Winchell.
Am I forgetting anything else?
I don't think so. One note is that the playoffs are, the last shift Friday, indeed, and then Saturday, it doesn't go all the way into the evening like with the other days, but it is indeed all playoffs on Saturday. That's correct.
And on top of that, we also have on the 18th the live show at Big 20.
That's on the weekend following, which would make that the... All right, what is actually a Saturday?
What a strike.
And where did all those pins go, pray tell? Tim Jalbert hammers them all in the end. Winchell's spare fill is 5 while we figure out how calendars work. Or I could just, click my calendar here on the computer and come up with November 16th. That's the Candlepins for Cancer live show in Maine.
And I believe Paul has another round of rollouts coming up at Central Park, I believe.
That's the women's roll-off, yes. John Winchell, 128.
Jalbert is working on a stroke, by the way.
Wrong smudge, right thing on the scoreboard. Here we go. I was so excited I hit the wrong thing. Are they all going to fall for 2? Not at all. The 4-pin looked like it was going to do something and then ended up doing nothing. If anything, it's budged off spot. So it goes for 10. The fill is 10, 118 on the end.
He didn't even hit the object on that. It just went.
String 2 of 5 in the books. String 3 of 5 will start as soon as all the action is done on the other lanes. We'll be right back with that in just a moment. Welcome back, string 3 of 5. Clearing the scores away here. JB Gauthier has a 9. And this should be AJ Quinn with an 8 box. Out for Gauthier.
Oh, what a bomb.
And a big time strike.
AJ.
Yeah. AJ Quinn.
Bullseye.
Forgive my lack. Yep. Canal.
Bullseye Canal Lanes. The new home of executive producer Bob Lee.
And a great center, too.
It's actually the only center that I know of that still has wooden pins that are still being used today.
And forgive my lack of Western Massachusetts familiarity. I'm looking forward to regaining my knowledge, gaining some knowledge of that, rather. Now that they've had a great showing at the ICBA tournament recently of the Big 20 in Scarborough, Maine. It's a 7-out on the first one for AJ.
Oh, what a shot.
JB, yes.
What a shot. So you know that 3-2 split that Lori Lewis made on the 11 o'clock showing?
Not sure I do.
The one where we said to Nico, make a video of it?
What about it?
Nico already made the video of it.
He's quick, I tell you.
Well, he's sick, home sick in bed, so of course he's going to be quick.
Gauthier takes out 7 on the first one.
AJ punches. It's a 3-1 split.
That goes. JB back to back. Mr. 200. Getting it done again. Quinn gets stuck with a 6 on this one.
Oh, half pushed him.
Tough go of it. A 6-pack for Gauthier Jr. on the right side. Head pin, yes!
Wow.
Again it goes. 56 in a ball at the half.
3 months in a row. What a half. AJ with a wacky back door.
At that one strike, pinning out, unfortunately with an 8 on that particular time. A 46 half there. Well, it wanted some more 9s and 10s in the mix, but still, good start. And now over to Craig Holbrook.
Hall of Fame, the Hall of Fame, Craig Holbrook.
Hall of Fame it probably twice over by this point, let's be honest.
I wonder if there's a rule about that. Can you get elected into the Hall of Fame 2 times? I mean, with the credentials he has, there's no doubt on my mind he could probably do that.
Precedent is what it is.
And he's still bowling at a high level pace.
You might see it now.
He's going up against his teammate, John Zappi. Zapp with a headpin hit, 2 and 1 split. It's not really a split, but oh, what a shot by Ayot on 15.
Looks like a pretty devious split to me.
It was.
And it's parallel pins and everything. Just going for the 2 on the right side.
Yeah, that's the only way he would have been able to make that.
Keep it simple.
Holbrook just punches the head pair and he loses the 3, 5, 8, 10, 9.
A surprising glancing blow, to be sure.
You know what I do miss about not having Paul Grant here today?
Good 10, yes?
The soothing sounds of Great Gouillart for station ID.
Oh, sorry. This is Candlepin Bowling Network on Facebook and YouTube. Please like and follow on Facebook and subscribe on YouTube if you haven't. Sorry, force a habit. But either way, we thank you very much for your support just by watching.
That's why I did that, because we had station identification all day. Now, we know that Paul's up in Maine busy covering that tournament.
That's tough. That's tough work to do a stream on his own. He makes it look so easy. 9-pin will get over for Holbrook. He's got the high-low.
A bug says he makes it.
That's the high-low jackpot?
Yep.
Okay.
But he has wood, though.
128. It's true. Not sure it's... Actually, it's looking pretty good at the 7-pin, honestly. I think it's got a chance, and it does.
It does.
20 and a ball through 2 for Craig Holbrook.
Why can't he ever make that on Channel 5 when he used to bowl on Channel 5?
Alas.
The best match he had on Channel 5 was when he went 9 months in a row against Al Johnson right before the live show started. And he loses the match by 1.
Just peeked at the scoreboard, 17 through 2. This looks better, you'd think. Come on, 5-pin. Guess not.
Oh, buried it.
And 9.
7-pin all by itself. Piece of wood way off to the right.
Zappy first here. It's the high piece of wood that's covering the high cap of the wood. He's going to use the pin in the middle. Doesn't go. And his usual teammate, John Winchell, sympathetic to that. Holbrook misses his single. So a 10 box. Take the smudge away belatedly. And a 9. 7-pin, toughest for any lefty, 38 through 3. So in a moment, after this 5-string qualifier, we get down to the nitty-gritty, the 24-team elimination tournament. All the women, unfortunately, drew lanes too far away from our particular camera, but it was a pleasure to cover them during the 11 a.m. shift, and hope to have the chance to do that again in the future. Diamond for Zappy. Holbrook, and again, John Zappy and Craig Holbrook. What year is it? 6-pack.
1989.
Still bowling at a great level. Good. That looked very full and solid on that diamond. And Zappy powers it down. Holbrook gets 4 of 6. 9 for Holbrook. What's the high string so far, someone asks? Well, Jimbo Ayot's 158 just a moment ago seems pretty high, but let me just pull up the scores here. I don't believe anybody has gone north of that. Jim Nestor threw a 138 to get up to his 577. That seemed to be the highest. Richard Beveridge's junior 136 is of note as well. John Blaze started with a 132.
What was the high score for the female?
For the women, Zaleski had 117 and Melanie Penny a 121. Sonia Rossi's 114 is no chicken feed either. Had my head down, but this should be first ball, I believe, for Zappy, so 4 horsemen.
Yep.
Brooks got another chance at a single pin. That looks beautiful, and it is. 53 in a ball. John Zappi will leave that on there. Holbrook missed the single this time by just a board. A couple times. Holbrook, who is simply here because he loves Candlepin. There is nothing to prove, that's for sure. It's just the bowling center is still one of his favorite places to be. 57 at the half.
I thought I was working at Coca-Cola.
Maybe so. So a vacancy on lane 13, as I suspected. So now John Winchell alone on lane 14. Most lanes are 3 to a lane, but every now and again, just because of the numbers, you can't divide evenly into 3.
Oh, there's a split.
Spread eagle less the 6. Now, where's this going? Where's the 4-pin going? It's nudge. Is the wood going to roll forwards into the 2?
It
And unfortunately does not drop it. 4 falling forwards would have been better, but we thought that had a chance. And 10. Look at this, it's gone. Winchell vaporizes rack number 2 for a strike. 20 plus through 2. Not even Danny Harasello well about that. He is in third, but now Harris is just pretty smooth and consistent. 123, 118, 117, 117, 113. So, okay, regressing if you want, but 588, that is good for third place in the 11 a.m. shift. Is that Chris Harris's burner account? I'm just kidding. Although I miss Chris. Wonder where he's doing. Hope he's doing well. A split for Winchell, 5-7.
I thought he was back in the game, but I hadn't heard anything.
Maybe so. It's part of our most watched match on Candlepin Bowling Network. That one match between then Woburn 1 and Union Street lanes. Union Street now in Hingham at South Shore Country Club, and Woburn 1 now out of Exeter. Winchell still filling the strike. Gets neither, unfortunately, and ends up with an 8 fill. Three for 3 on the head pin so far for John. John J-O-N. He's got 9. Ball's coming back and disappearing off the back. So yeah, first and second separated by just 2 pins on the men's side. Blaze and Alfalato, 595 and 593. On the women's side by 3 pins. Zaleski, 552. Mel Penny, 549. That's why those little pins on the ball 3 can make all the difference.
Wow, what a split.
Yeah.
5, 6, 7. Wow.
Oh, it's Fernando Gacharna.
What?
Of course, an image. Graphic imaging is this line of work. That was my clue, but I missed it. He does it. Oh, that's gone! 5, 6, 7 for Winchell. And after 4 headpin hits, that's a beauty. Strike 8 and a spare in boxes 2 and 4. Fernando made a particularly beautiful ACST logo, which features a bowler on the ACST Interstate Shield that I'm quite partial to, but it is not the official ACST logo. It's still the cursive, what is it? It's Atlantic in cursive, and then Candlepin and block text with a red stripe through the eye for Candlepin. That's right. 8 fill on the spare.
Maybe he can't explain it to us. I don't even know.
Just to the right of that. So 5 for 5 on the head pin. Winchell will have a 60-plus half. Befits him. Smooth and solid and stashed. I'm taking the beard, I'll be honest. He's got a 10. 65 half.
That's a not a good time for that because we call that a PG special.
Brings up AJ Quinn and Jason Gauthier Jr. Gauthier on 56 and a ball at the half. 3 straight spares.
Can you make it more in a row?
Oh no, that gets out to the left, unfortunately. Not what he's after.
He pulled that one to the left. A 1 on the spare.
Right so. Strike ball takes it. Pin's continuing to drop, won't go. Quinn, come back for the wood. Head pin not taken from behind. JB has a 9. He's wearing that pink Team USA shirt. He rolled that 200 in. That is his high single now. Update.
200 on the nose. He had a perfect game going on, too.
He had a 9 box along the way, I will say, but
He did.
took good pinning to do it. That's hit pin, but apparently not pocket. I thought that looked pretty good. The pins seem to disagree. Ooh, Quinn's all over this one, but he also does not get a leave either. 5-10. Just not driving through. That's going to drive a bowler nuts in a hurry. 5-9, taken out by Gauthier.
I said this all the time.
Ooh, that 5 and 10 goes. AJ Quinn, the nickel and dime spare conversion.
That's worth, I don't know. I think that's a pretty shot.
That should be 10 for JB. Now he'll fill with a 5. Split.
A banana.
I am partial to the double pinochle name, but hey, that's back-to-back spare for Quinn. Might as well leave the smudge up. Gauthier's right down the bunny hole. Or whatever Beavis calls it. An 8 box. 84 through 8. Sorry, I was doing an impression there.
AJ, back on it. Crossover, leaves a hay bale. Gauthier with the 2-1 split.
Hey, bail, we'll call it, but honestly, I'm not sure that leaf makes much more sense. But it sure is fun to say.
Yeah, it does.
Close, just the 5-9. Gauthier down the middle. And there's the 10. 9 for JB. 93 through 9. Good crowd watching here on Candlepin Bowling Network. We are live on Facebook and YouTube, and happy to have that back. Great to see you all here in both places for this great qualifying shift. And an even greater elimination round to come. Triangle for JB. 6 pin won't go. It was the triangle out of order. It would have been a bit generous. But with Gauthier's skill, this pin may be gone if he does not trip on the front wood. But he did, unfortunately, and the ball caroms away. Quinn yanks it left, unfortunately, but still can get the out here. This sleeve is pretty when it goes. It's just not there for JB. 9 box 102. For his third string of 5. This will be 6 for Quinn. Into triple digits, 101. 1 strike and 2 spares. Both of them had 3 marks to get to their 100 level scores.
99.
Greg Holbrook and John Zappi. Greg Holbrook also, I should mention, part of South Shore Country Club and Maria's Subs and that network of Hall of Fame or soon-to-be Hall of Fame to Kevin Burns' earlier point in the case of John Zappi. He's filling a spare. 5 pins wiggling. That's disappointing. It doesn't drop. Holbrook, 4, 5, 7, 10.
If anybody can make this, Holbrook can.
8 pin taken out. He's not happy with where he placed that shot. I think he may have wanted to go even further on the right tip on that one. Fine margins, yet he's upset he didn't place it better. A 9. These two in the 60s, so on pace for a 100-something string. If they didn't get any more marks, that is. Sorry about that, folks. John Zappi on his 1-2 pocket. 5 pin, 9 and 10 stay put. Holbrook, that's broken up all the way. He gets some mock cheers, but that, I don't know about that. I think that was a good shot there, and he hasn't had a box lower than 9, and that's contributing to a great score. Zappi's caught this one, as Winchell implored him to do, catching the 9 and 10 for his spare. Spare Zappi on the 3 pin, 5 out. Holbrook on a strike on the head pin, 3, 6, 10. Looking good for yet another. Blank is certainly spanning across. You certainly would think it's cooperative. Mr. Caleri, I presume. 4 horsemen go, but not the 9 pin. Craig spins it in. Left side of the wood collects, and that is a spare on strike for 96 and a ball through 8. Zappi gets the 10th pin for 92 through 8. Greg Gouillart alongside Kevin Burns. This is Candlepin Bowling Network String 3 of 5. This is the Pro Series, a more or less monthly series of events across different formats and different bowling centers. Points are awarded to the high finishers in both this qualifying round and in this case the playoffs or elimination round to come afterwards. These points add up to determine a bowler of the year at the end of the year, which is presently Tim Douglas and Blanca Gacharna from last season. And then our seedings for a playoff championship, with Aaron St. Cyr being the most recent champion over Danny Harris. Zappi close to a hammer on this one. He gets 9 out. 6 pin. Craig Holbrook has 4 horsemen and a 10 pin. Got the outpost leave. That plank should work for John. I don't see why not. Unless he lands in the cutter. It spun out anyway. Missed shot, unfortunately. Third ball's coming up. Nicks it on the third one. That's 10. Still a great string. Still working on the 110s. Craig needs an out. and gets it. Three more. Would have wanted a little more, but with a mark, he could still get back up to that 120s level he was at. Both of these two are featured on some of the best TV shows. Craig Holbrook on channels 5 and 50, John Zappi on channel 50. I believe both of them were also on the Comcast or CN8 show as well.
Yes, they were.
Out of Woburn Bolodrome at the end. Zappi, they're both wilting, and the 7-pin falls, thank goodness. I thought they were both going to do a double act. Holbrook. Seen this one before.
Holbrook is not really on it right now. I don't know why.
Not in the past, too. 50-50 on the head pin, I would say. It's still just the sheer power.
Missed opportunity there for Zap.
Just on the 9-pin there. That's
what
good.
a shot.
A spare for Holbrook, a great comeback. 119 and a ball. Zappi takes 10. So Craig Holbrook filling in the 10th, going 11 as we say. He's wearing an ICBA shirt as well, implying participation in one of those annual tournaments. Taking the best of the best from each of the Candlepin regions: Maine, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and Western New England. It's fair, it's 120, and it's 124. Hey, got his head pin on the last one, a great finish, 124. Now over to John Winchell doing a solo act. Winchell, a very solid cross-lane bowler. And a great promoter of Exeter Lanes, his longtime home house. Exeter, New Hampshire, of course. Of course, to those of us that know it. Otherwise, now you do. That's on the head pin. Now, this has happened a few times now, where I've noticed a bowler is hitting their pocket, but the 5-pin isn't driving through. And I think that may be one of the elements that is making Olindy's Quincy a harder house than maybe we've seen in some other places. Might be worth a slow-mo. Wood came across and almost took the 7 anyway.
You know, I've been noticing that myself. Because a lot of these headpin hits shouldn't be splits. They should be either a single or...
It's peculiar, though you might have to ask Ayod how he did it. Pin doesn't fall anyway, foul or otherwise, so 9. It's the sidewall action is good, though, so you can score high, and we've seen it, and someone's going to have to take a page out of Jimbo Ayod's book with that 158 he dished earlier. I haven't heard a lot of raucous noise for anyone else.
Neither have I.
But again, it brings up another point, as Winchell only just now misses a head pin, by the way. It brings up a point of just how challenging should the sport be. A lot of people are jaded by how fast the sport is getting, in the sense of fast house being one where the pins are moving quite rapidly and thus generating higher scores. 7 pins. 7 down, 3 to go. I think the sense that I get is I wonder if 10 boxes just don't have enough importance in the sport, and even though the 10s do matter because you saw the 2-pin and 3-pin separation for the men's and women's score, even getting those 2 pins that Winchell just did there for that 9 could make a difference down the road. But when spares are the primary driver of scores in just every single way, if you are comparing yourself to another bowler's string and they're throwing more marks than you, it does not matter really how much pinning you do. once it gets to be about 2 marks on average, it will tend to be very difficult to surmount that gap with just pinning alone. But it is possible, and we've seen it many times, and between bowlers of different skills, the pinning certainly matters. Keeps the average Joes like me off the lanes, tell you what. 9 drop for Winchell. Pin goes off. Ball goes off just to the left of the pin. There's a 10. A question from Nico, our great social media manager, when will the elimination start? Well, once we get through this, which will go at the pace it does, which I think is going at a fairly fine pace right now, we'll get that, and then they'll have to tabulate the scores as well, which are all being hand-entered, which is a great old-school throwback, but also will take some time to calculate everything. But once we have all that, then we'll have the top 24 men's scores to be able to determine the playoffs, the elimination phase. John Winchell with a strike. 103 plus 2 through 9. There's another good point as well. The more bowling there is, the more high games there will be, just statistically. Just a statistical byproduct, as you will. You're welcome, Bob Lee. And that's the third time and final time I've said it. Crossover 4-6. Huh.
No, if Paul were here, he'd be flipping out about the music.
Worst case, maybe. Worst case, there's a way to mix it in settings. The red line's looking at the 9 spot, so this doesn't work unless it comes this way and taps it from behind.
It was going down, and a piece of wood stood it right back up.
Oh, no. So hitting it on all sides is a great way to straighten that 6 pin out in a hurry. That's what you're saying, Kevin. Oh, dear. 9 fill. That should be foul, I believe. So a 9 fill and a 9 box. Not my call to make. I just mostly sure that's what that was. 121 for the string.
How many of those have we seen? That's number 4 today.
We'll be right back with string number 4 in just a moment. And welcome back, string 4 of 5.
Ryan Drago and AJ Quinn. The reason why we're laughing is because
The two bowlers are having a moment dancing the I want to dance with somebody.
Candlepin and Cephalano. Oh, God. Something's never changed. Oh, God. All right. In all seriousness, that's a 5 for AJ. Ryan Drago with $10.
Don't have to be too serious about a $5. Then again, we don't want to harp on that. After all, there's plenty of bowling still to go after this. But two great Western Massachusetts bowlers.
Drago representing the Agawam Bowl.
Ouch, just a 7-pin there. Drago really gets down to the lanes. Did some great journalism photography when we were doing the Candlepin for Cancer old and new showcase at a Bolorama in Portsmouth, New Hampshire as well. He had a great article about that and how much it raised for Candlepins for Cancer as well.
He pretty much wrote about his grandson, about Ulsa and his grandson in that head-to-head match.
Just a table leg is all. That's 10. Quinn gets on the head, away from the head pin here. 4 horsemen on the right side. Drago head pin direct. 7 wilts in the back, so it's just the 4. Quinn really trying to muscle this ball down the lane. And gets rid of 3 pins, so Power is taking the pins here. Just needs to dial in and we can start building a string. Drago has a chance here, needs to stay on the lane. Yep, spare, that's a fair and a spare. That looks good to me as well, in fairness. 30 and a ball through 3. Quinn leaves up the head pin for a 9. Good spirit of sportsmanship here. Bowlers will call their fouls honestly, camera or no.
I walk in my door every day, 501. 501, I walk in the door. I have about 3-4 hours.
That was JB Gauthier wrecking a rack over there on lane 15. Drago, 9 on this spare, leaving just the 10 pin. Quinn back on target. Wood stops short of the 4-8. I thought with the extra power that was gone, but that and the 10 stay. Missed 10 pin, unfortunately, for Drago. AJ Quinn's 4 pin. Rolling Wood doesn't take anything else, so an 8. And a $10, that's pin perfect for Ryan Drago through 4. Eventually this anecdote will fall out of my memory bank, but I still remember it was 3-man random draw teams, there was a tiebreaker that was required to pick the teams, and he and AJ Stockton were going at it, and Ryan came out victorious in that. That was at Webster Timber Lanes in Abington. Quinn on the head pin, 4-7-10 for the third ball. 5-9, Drago, yes, through the wood, and on with a second mark. Quinn has 7, tough half for him, and moves on to Dave Barber and Craig Holbrook. Dave Barber, basically everything ever in terms of not just bowling ability, but also the politics of Candlepin as well. President of the Friday Night Pro League, organizer of the Pro Series, and now president of the Candlepin Bowlers Association.
Which was the one I was talking about earlier.
The CBA as opposed to the ICBA. Exactly, Kevin. The ICBA very much a proprietor's organization, and the CBA being a players' association will be the perfect counter to that, I would say. And by counter, I mean sort of in a yin-yang sense. I think those two organizations, if they come at it from those two different perspectives, could really make a world of difference in a sport that could use it. 6, 7, 10. Just the 7-pin. Barber was trying to get the billiard shot here in O'Lindy's, but the billiard hall's on the other back of the house. 9 for Holbrook and 10 for Barber. And I just laughed at my own joke. Disaster.
It wasn't really a joke.
It was an effort.
Yeah.
Good bid, Gregory.
Holbrook, a Hall of Famer, and Dave Barber, the son of a Hall of Famer.
Namely Jim Barber. Split still for Holbrook, although he's got wood available. Barber comes in from that left side, so explosive on that head pin. He leaves just the 7-pin.
He obliterated the pocket.
Front wood for Holbrook, I guess? No, he wants the backwood instead. Disappears into the curtain too soon. Barber nicks it on the way by for a spare. Barber rolled it to the 190s on Candlepins for dollars, the other Mike Morin bowling show. On then WB56 before the CW nixed it, unfortunately. Big mistake.
It was a good show.
We were getting Candlepin back into the zeitgeist. Duncan was advertising and everything. At the orange and pink Duncan. Speaking of off-color pins, they had the orange and pink striped pin. Now, 4 horsemen left for Holbrook. I mentioned Mike Morin, Frank Malicote, co-presenter of that show. 7 dropping a setback for Dave Barber.
The setback that actually has a possibility of going.
It's not frozen to the channel. Oh no, but again, lo and behold, the wood does no good for anybody at any time. Nicely run down, Holbrook will escape with 9, as will Barber.
So I was talking to Barber about the singles for the Worlds. And you know how I told you I'm playing on bowling?
Yes.
And he said lane draw in time is at 8:30.
Mm-hmm.
So depending on what shift I draw for would dictate whether or not I'm in the booth.
Okay. Interesting. Barber's, yes, he got rid of that head pin almost as a backdoor strike in effect. Told you, those sidewalls are lively. You get the ball moving there, and it can do some damage. Holbrook's got wood. Does anything go to the 10? Yes. Good shot. Spare for each as Dave Barber collects as well.
Too bad we can't get this on camera, but look right behind me, Greg.
Yep. They're turning out some bangers here, I tell you what. It's a good mood. Listen, it's a serious tournament, but everyone has got a good sense of humor. This is why I love Candlepin Centers so much, just the sense of community it builds. You can be simultaneously toughest of competition on the lanes and then just a few feet behind.
You get people who act obnoxious.
but the most joyous of friends and personalities.
Barber with 2 on his spare.
So, I mean, it's the same thing. Barber's going to be livid with that 2-fill, but he's going to be in such a wonderful mood. He'll have his wonderful wife and daughter to go to. That's Allie Barber, and their daughter as well. Who they always bring to the lanes and are still able to organize this great tournament. Co-organize, in fairness, with the others, but still. 9 and... Whoa! 6, 7, 10 becomes an afterthought, or possibly so. But hey, 3 pins, you never know what sort of a difference that's going to make. Barber gets a 57.5. And it brings up Scott Douglas. I see Tim Douglas in the field as well, so I'll specify the initial. Douglas all by himself, at least in terms of these 2 lanes. The lanes are not actually attached in an elimination tournament. So even though Even though we really appreciate everyone going ball for ball, there is absolutely no mandate in order to do so. I would never demand it anyway. If pace of play dictated it, go your own pace.
You missed it. You missed it.
Headpin out. Douglas busts it up. 2-4. Two S's in Douglas, please, and thank you. Ooh, and the wood came off the wall as well. Maybe that's arguably Scotty tripping on the wood on the way by, but you thought that sidewall bounce might have taken it. Instead, the whirling dervish goes wide, and he'll settle for a 9. Yes, Nico, the twister. Where there's a tornado, there's a twister. And then the other good one. Where did he get that nickname from?
I don't know.
It's a mystery, that. Raise your microphone, please. And
I really don't
and
know.
get down, 10-pin. Thank you. 5-pin only. Didn't get the 2-pinner. Good, that's a spare. By the way, that's a great bowling shirt. That's the sartorial genius of Matt Nichols, in fact. The Webster Timberlanes Abington logo on it. And that would be with Team D Generation X. Don't forget to bring your entire set of 4 balls.
I bowled with 5.
They sold it to you in a 5-pack or what?
No, I had to buy an extra one.
Ah.
There's a reason why I do that, because you don't know how fast the machines are going to send the balls back.
Gotcha. As long as they all fit.
Yeah.
If everyone did 5, we'd have to have the rack come all the way back to this table we're sat at.
Yeah.
Spare, Horseman run down. Scott Douglas back to back. Just noticing that Craig Holbrook 52 half was with 3 splits. Yikes. Tough luck. Now Douglas, 5, 8, 9, 10. Didn't like it. He crossed over on that one, but that's been a theme of the day. Just the 5-pin just not going, or stranger leaves occurring. This
That might go if the wood was...
is it looking too much at triangle 5, or do you think the 10-pin has a chance too?
I don't think the...
Whoa!
He played exactly like I thought he would, but it didn't have enough to carry the 5.
I was right, but I thought I would be
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
That wood really got across there, but it did go in front. 9. 50 through 4. A couple of spares for everyone on lane 13, coincidentally. Everyone's bowling in their own right. There's no teams, just lane mates. Everyone for themselves in this singles elimination tournament. Top 4 ladies from this shift, unfortunately not featured and previous. And the top 24 men from this shift and previous will advance to the elimination round. We did feature the ladies tournament, actually for the larger part of the previous shift. We hope you'll check it out there on Candlepin Bowling Network on demand on YouTube. Triangle 4. 4-pin backwards, please. Not there, though. Those pins are such miscreants, I tell you. Oh, you wanted me to get over. Okay, I'll fall. Oh, that's not what you wanted? Okay, maybe you should have been clear about that. Score at a 10 box at a 60 half for Scott Douglas. A solid pro half.
And the words of Paul Grant is time for station ID.
Yes, this is. Why, this is Candlepin Bowling Network. Thank you for asking. We're live on Facebook and YouTube. I'm Greg Gouillart. That's Kevin Burns. We appreciate your support just by watching. If you don't mind hitting that like button, that thumbs up button on either platform. Either way, thank you very much.
You might want to hit that button because we have a couple big tournaments coming up.
Especially the bell icon if you want to be notified about the future streams. AJ Quinn is the 4 horseman in the 610. Ryan Drago on this spare fill. Will will be happy with the 6 bit of it anyway. He won't be happy with what comes next.
Yeah, banana split. He has 2 pieces of wood.
Quinn thought he had a play on that one, and he hit his target. Just nothing really went over into the left side.
Oh, what a bid.
The 610 and then the 4 went, and it just didn't work out.
There's a 10 for...
There's the 10. And that's still pin perfect, by the way. Ryan Drago's on a perfect game right now, 75 through 6.
And how much money would that cost, Al?
Well, nothing today, but you know,
No
Al
way.
Johnson's been a great sponsor of many other Candlepin tournaments as well, and he has done some perfect string payouts as well, including on our live shows as well, but also in other tournaments. And you know what he does for the bowling community and bowling families, unparalleled.
And now Ryan has the setback. No wood.
Ooh, uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
So much for perfection, one would think, although he's made some crazier cuts on his 3rd ball before. Quinn pins out for 10. And the Agawam bowler, he tried to put a cut on that. I saw that. He was really trying to shade that 6 pin over. It will go for an 8. And hey, still a good string working with a spare 9 and a spare 6. And hanging on to those pins. 15 bonus pins and still able to go 13 over. AJ
chops 9. Drago back on it.
tip. Nope.
Fall.
Drago hasn't missed a head pin since number 1. That was AJ Quinn's best hit of the string easily. How about a 7 pin? Yes, he seizes the opportunity. 63 and a ball through 8. Patiently await your opportunities. Drago gets his, and he's marking in a pretty good clip, all told. 93 and a ball through 8, his 3rd. So he's 13 over, but because he's pinning so well, with good count on this spare, Drago can actually have a 120-something already. Just that 1-8 box, that's the only blemish.
I gave her that one. Yeah. Where we're going. Where you going? I don't know.
Quinn filling, it's 6. As the horseman, he could go back-to-back on this one. And how about Drago? 5, 7, 10. Ouch. AJ no good on ball 2. Drago, interesting. The wood came forward on that one. Quinn with a tough string there. That 9th box was his best one by far. More of those, and you can see the power. One more box to go, I beg your pardon. But the point still stands. One more box like that. And he could go so much higher. Again, the power, and again, the 4 horsemen. Drago got this head pin perfectly, as much as you can in Candlepin. He's got his last 9 head pins, and that's the 4 pin. So, Ryan Drago in 119 plus this. 7 film, 9 box means he does need this mark for 120. Got it out just a board to the right. And you can see those boards nicely here on these beautiful wood lanes.
Yeah, you go.
Here at O'Lindy's in Quincy. He
Wasn't meant to be.
finishes with 9, 118. Bringing back up Dave Barber and Craig Holbrook. Holbrook on a 52 half. Had those 3 splits. Barber also has had 2 splits. That's all the way across into the 1-2. Barber, I think that's his crossover side, 5-6-10, dealing it from left to right.
And another setback.
Holbrook, yes, good. Can't use the channel wood, have to go at it directly. Barber was trying to cut that 6-pin, instead he's ended up with parallel pins. That's 9. Greg Holbrook on a spare fill.
Four in the mark. Barber, 2-1 split.
Let's see. Holbrook tries to get it across, doesn't work. Barber, ooh, cuts it into that. Would have made the 2-4-10. Honest to goodness, I think he would have made the 2-4-10 on that one. 2-4-9, certainly. Holbrook 9, Barber 10. And a quality 10 at that. Not head-to-head, it's a singles elimination. Everyone bowling in their own right for Pro Series points. Awarded to the high finisher in qualifying and in the elimination round to come. And special thanks to Jim out of Olindy's for the opportunity to come here and set up our humble little folding table behind lane 13 and 14. Another split.
A makeshift booth that we normally make when we have a big tournament. Spare
Holbrook. Had that spare smudge up, I'll just pretend it was precognitive. Predictive. Barber wants to make one of these sooner or later. He's had 5 splits this string, and this, I feel as though Barber may be more split prone, and that may just be a byproduct because he's so headpin accurate as well. Even though his ball has so much power, it just has this nasty tendency to just not always bust up the rack at times. I remember there was one time where he had, it was like 14 straight at Central Park Lanes, another tough house in fairness.
Don't tell me what to do, Maddie.
It just didn't break it up. But you can't get a split if you don't hit the head pin, and Barber's prowess is obvious. Speaking of obvious, Holbrook with a 19 box.
Well, he finally busted up a split.
Nice leave. Wood in front on Holbrook's. He's happy getting applause to the 6-7-10 with Wood he made. Holbrook, no, he's too flat on that red line. He knows it. Barber, yes. Spare in the 9th.
Barber's like, finally.
His 3rd mark after the doldrums of the splits. Craig takes 10. He's got 104 through 9. The Hall of Famer is 14 over par. That's Ryan Southall, who was nearly made that split on 12. He shook his head. He didn't think it was that close, but it seemed pretty compelling from here, I'll tell you what.
And we have him next in the last round of qualifying.
Holbrook has the 9-pin back there as well. Dave Barber, 19 box for him. 103 through 9. Craig, that's skinny on the object, and it flutters around the 9. Barber's got it. Plank is through, and he's got a chance for 120. Organizes a competition, then slays a competition, Dave Barber. Holbrook pins out for 10. 114. So Dave Barber 113 and a ball. He's on the head pin full. Ouch. Hey, like I said, you gotta hit the head pin to get a split. 116 is the string. 8 for 10 head pin accuracy. Only one 8 box, and that was on a tough split as well. I wish I could have heard that conversation. It's given Scott Douglas a smile after he heard from Craig Holbrook just then. Scott Douglas, the winner of the Candlepins for Cancer Variety Stepladder. That was a fun show we did. Did 1, 2, 3 ball, 3, 6, 9, and 9 pin. An interesting combination of formats, which inherently means that the higher scoring formats at the end will probably be the most influential. And when Scott Douglas is so good at the 3, 6, 9, and 9 pin games, as was obvious from qualifying, it's no question how skilled he is. On 3 and 10 as he chisels out the 6. And a 10, nicely played on the outside. 70 through 6. String 4 or 5, this is the penultimate string. After this, the string after next, got it. We're gonna discontinue the stream, and then we'll start off another one, I suppose, and just have that on the starting soon screen until we calculate the top 24. Well, the tournament organizers calculate the top 24 advancing to the elimination phase.
And then we will have the elimination phase all the way to the finals.
Scoring updates are infrequent because of the paper scoring in use. A great old school approach. It means the instant gratification digital age doesn't get appeased until the end, but we'll have this when we have it. We'll get there when we get there. 1-8 for the third ball. Scott goes for the plank back there. That's easy as pie. Make it 9. Nothing below 9.
Did you see the comment from Nico that you had 24 seconds for station ID?
I don't know if it's past its PSA kill time, so to speak, in the biz. Timestamp. Or that might have been when you cued me.
Yeah, probably.
I need one voice from production, please. You're all talking at once. 1-2, millisate. Had to get that in there. I love Ryan Family Amusements so much.
I bowled there once and I hated it. It put me into a bad slump.
Okay. Spare. 89 and a ball through 8. So 9 over for Douglas plus whatever this is. Got some good ones coming up. We got Scott LaPierre and Aaron Fontaine, and I believe he even said the third, and I lost track of it.
Caleri, 5 fill.
Still breaking into the 110s. Ooh, the 1-3-6. Oof. 8-10 left on the third ball. And a 9 there. 103 through 9.
If there's one thing that drives me crazy, it's when somebody comes up behind me, puts their hand on my head. Especially if his nickname is Squirrel.
He doesn't like that one anymore, I'm told.
No, because you know what? True story. When Lita had the pro score system.
This one?
Yeah. Terry Ann was doing all the names for Bob, myself, and Blaze, because Blaze was born with me and Bob for Easter one year. And instead of saying Blaze, it said blah.
Ouch. Quality 10 on the 410 for Scott Douglas, 113.
So ever since then, we've been calling him John Blah. Or Blah.
I mean, well, there's an S in it, so why not blase? Anyway.
Well, Terry Ann came up with that. I don't know. But
Well, I'm not going to dispute her genius. Just
No.
I just wanted to throw that out there in the spirit of constructive critique.
okay.
Anyway, with that pretentiously said, that's the end of string 4. We'll have string number 5 in just a moment. I made the B right back view a little more interesting. We'll be truly back with string 5 in a moment. Welcome back. This is Ryan Southall in lane 13. Ryan Drago returns on lane 14. Southall goes first. He's got the 1-9. Final string of qualifying. Drago spread eagle. Southall connects. That's a spare. Drago right down the middle for this one. Southall, there's no need to wait, so he just begins box number 2. He's got the 1-3-9. It just stays up. Drago, unfortunately, ends up with a 5. Gets defeated by the eagle. 1-3-9? Yes, good. Back to back for Ryan Southall. Another competitor on the Candlepins for Cancer variety show. Where we featured 1-2-3 ball, 3-6-9, and 9-pin, all under one roof. It was very interesting to see how the different formats played and how the scoring is affected by otherwise the same talented pro bowlers. 9-10. He's got a split there, but I think the ball trampoline should be there. He got it, yes. Exactly like that. 3 straight. Pace really quickens up when you're scoring that well. And Drago escapes for his 10. My name's Greg Gouillart, and I'm alongside Kevin Burns here on Candlepin Bowling Network.
And that was his station identification.
In a record amount of time. I should note that for the next time.
Yeah, you should.
This is Drago's 3rd box.
It is second eagle in 3 boxes.
Drago's Southall spare fill is 6. 2 Ryans, yes. Good cut on that one, but it just didn't go across. It would have made the 2-4-7-9. Southall.
No
Get across, yes!
No way.
Yes way. 1-2, then off the wall for the 4-7. Perfect eagle conversion for 10, as it were. Perfect pin out.
Oh boy. Don't look behind you.
Well, now I have to. I don't see.
Eddie Harris is double fisting.
Okay. Got to get in the comfort zone. Ryan Southall, spread eagle.
Now, if he makes this,
Mark perfect half. Good
Yeah.
luck, though. As it is, it appears to be a stopper to the whole thing. Drago was close on that one. Ooh, just on the object.
he did split it.
Yeah. So Drago escaped his last spread eagle. He's likely to escape this one for 10. We'll see.
No.
He said no. I
No.
looked like it came out of the gutter as well.
No.
So we score that 9, and that's an object 6 box. So that's how a bowler going as well as Ryan Southall gets stuck with a 6. He has a 71.5. Ryan Drago has box in hand. Well, a box to go, and anyway, just bowling your own pace. Half Worcester, unfortunately. Aaron Fontaine due up on lane 13.
Mr. 239, Aaron Fontaine.
See if he can make a final. Nate did this year. It's easy to tease a bowler when they're doing so well for themselves like Aaron is.
Well, after losing to his grandfather,
You can't not mention Tom Olsta. One can't not, but
not when you have his grandkid bowling.
yeah. But you look at Aaron Fontaine's delivery. It's powerful in its own right and is very much heavily patterned after his grandpa.
Well,
Dave Barber up on lane 14 alongside. Mr. President, I presume.
Should I stand up and salute him?
Barber smack dab on the head pin. 3-1 split with wood. Not convinced it's helpful. It looked like it's going to ramp the 3-pin away. Fontaine's spread eagle. And there you see that balance hand really come out forwards for Fontaine. Nate does it too. Spare! About that bad ramp, Dave Barber shows me how wrong I am. 10 in a ball. Outside, nothing's coming off the sidewall, lively as it is. Well, 2-pin would have fallen forwards, if anything.
Now, remember what I told you when,
8.
remember when Aaron was doing the interview with Paul during the fundraiser we just did at Bolorama, and he said that Tom Osa is not done yet.
Is not what?
Is not through competing, especially if it's just for fun. Especially his own.
Oh, sure. I imagine that.
Oh, especially against his own grandkids.
Ulster did out. Grandpa beat grandson at old versus new. That did happen.
And I still can't believe that.
10-pin chance?
What?
Yes. Spare.
I still can't believe that that Osa beat his own grandkids. And I asked Tom the question before, how many times have you beaten your grandkids while bowling? He said, every time we play, I always beat them.
(20-2) for Barber. He had a tough go with that with a half Worcester fill and then just didn't recover. Well, the pinning was good, mind you, but it does erase the spare in effect. But it's good pinning, and there's a strike. Right back on the rails. That's the resiliency you need to succeed. Fontaine. Toss across. It's 2-5 and 8.
Side saddle triangle.
On a spare, excuse me, so 25-2. That's what it should have looked like. Now it's gone. And back it comes. 35 and a ball through 2. 3 for 3 on the head pin. Aaron Fontaine. Barber filling the strike. Starts with 6. Visible head shake there. Not thrilled with that. It'll be tough to spare this out, but 9 is a gettable fill. Aaron's fill on the head pin.
Checkmark.
Yeah. Thin on the crossover side, and there's that 9 count for Barber.
You called it.
Run down the front 3. Good, that's gone. Check mark converted. Fontaine hasn't had the most straightforward of leaves as Barber pins out 10. We'll take that as foreshadowing that Scott LaPierre is coming up next. One 3-10. Fontaine to fill. 3-1 split. The fill is 6. 7-6-6. Barber's had a spare 2, then a strike 9 and good pinning. Can he run this down? Yes, he can. Said it a little confidently before the 10-pin went, but it was in the right direction. And it goes, and it's a 60 half almost surely. Aaron's made some great splits in the past. He can't quite do it this time as nothing travels to the back row. 5 for 5 on the head pin, by the way. And he gets an 8 for a 65 half.
When he bowled that 239, he was perfect on the head pin for 10 boxes.
That's right. Just one spare opportunity that got away from him there. Had marks in the other 9. From the first shift, John Blaze at 595. That's tops, and ahead of Nick Zuffalato and Danny Harris, 593 and 588. And for the women, Caitlin Zaleski, Melanie Penny, Sonia Rossi, and Brittany Underwood were your top 4. 552, 549, and then 519 and 515. Now we got 2 Scotts on our lanes, Scott Douglas and Scott LaPierre. Scott Douglas out of Massachusetts. Just escapes into the 8-pin, unfortunately. Scott LaPierre out of Maine. 2-pin. On target.
2-pin, good night.
There's such a steady assurance of how LaPierre delivers the ball. Just gets down low to the lane and propels it towards the target very well. And he's had a lot of success in just about every tournament he's bowled in. He actually is wearing a Candlepins for Cancer Season 1 shirt as well. Candlepins for Cancer, a 501c3 charity of bowlers raising money for bowlers and families going through cancer treatments and the costs associated with them. Just a little bit goes a long way when it comes to paying out that direct relief.
Oh, God, what a mess.
Not to be confused with Direct Relief, a hurricane fundraising, anti-hurricane fundraising organization, of course. We're not for cancer, we're not for hurricanes, but I did a video game live stream for them, in fact, recently. Ooh, the 4-8. It was always going to be a tough one to run down. True story. I woke up at 3 a.m. actually and did an online live stream for someone else playing a video game. I did commentary of something other than bowling. There's an 8-box.
And I bet you felt pleased.
I could do it too, but I'd like to believe that no matter how many wonderful opportunities I get to commentate whatever, I'll always get the chance to commentate Candlepin.
Look at this,
Maybe we can get Gary Thorne. Did you know that Gary Thorne, the voice of the NHL and formerly the voice of the Baltimore Orioles, well, former in both cases, these splits are absurd. He actually did commentate some matches, actually, for Candlepin Action, I believe, was the show, out of the state of Maine. The YouTube channel Daryl Saucier, of relation to Hall of Famer Don Saucier, has some clips up on YouTube. D-A-R-Y-L Saucier. Third balls. Douglas has his. That's 10. Well pinned out of that split. Only left 1 pin standing. LaPierre struggling with his splits. Oh dear, that's going to be 7. Still over par thanks to that earlier split. Both of these bowlers have actually gone 3 for 3 on the head pin. But we're seeing that drive back action. It's just not always collecting the 5 pin. It's a tough one. That's Scott's son Benjamin keeping score for him, in fact, which is always wonderful. There's a funny story about how Scott and Benjamin paired together for a mixed doubles competition. That was the 1/7-10 Augusta, Maine one for the Pro Series. That was interesting. That ball was traveling for Douglas there. Didn't take it. But Scott LaPierre's mixed doubles partner had to bow out at the last moment, spare. But Benjamin's there, so Scott said, okay, well, I don't qualify for mixed doubles, quite obviously, but can he and I bowl, and he can bowl as and Benjamin can bowl as a pacer, and then I'll just bowl for Pro Series points during the qualifier, and that was permitted. Scott actually did quite well in the event, and we actually had Benjamin on the stream as well, and it was really, really delightful, honestly.
How did Benjamin do? I know that he's pushing his average up.
For his age, quite well, I think. Manual ball return as Scott Douglas's ball came all the way back after going on a joyride, trying to take the 4-7, but then not. Throw that blue gobstopper at it, and it's 4 horsemen, 7 and 9. Only the first head pin he's missed. Scott's got his head pin. That busts up better. Not quite the 10 pin, but the fill is 9.
Now, who was supposed to be his partner?
I don't know. At least I'm mostly sure it was due to illness, I think.
Well, let's not forget, that was a bad time because it was in the middle of the winter.
Spare again. Back-to-back 3 marks in the half for Scott LaPierre. Scott Douglas pins out quite fine, honestly, for a 9. And, hey, full house, 9's full of 10s, 47.5.
It's like I said to you and Paul, I'm decking out because I did not want to get stuck in that snowstorm that was coming that weekend. I was like, no. We went back to my friend's house and we almost drove back that
It's
night.
interesting, those main tournaments. Southall goes first. He's got the 4-pin. Well, first from our perspective. Again, the lanes are not actually attached. We're just featuring these two. Ryan Drago. Head pin 258. I have some thoughts on main weather. No, don't want to go on the cap there. Southall knows that, of course. That's a missed opportunity. Drago has an interesting chance here. I wonder how he's going to negotiate the wood. He'll go inside and only clip the 5-pin. Southall's box is 9.
No, because it's funny because I did this stream with you and Paul the first shift. Terry Ann and I bowled in the second shift.
That's right.
And
Nice 10.
and I just said, so after we left, I said to Bucker, Terry Ann, what do you guys want to do? Do you want to spend the night or do you just want to drive back home? And it was about 12:30 when we were deciding that. And I said, I got an idea. I need to sleep for a little bit because I'm tired because I did double duty. I bowled 10 strings and I also did the show.
Spare for Southall is 5th one. Yeah, you don't want to get caught in that
Yeah.
bad weather, especially when the state of Maine decides, we're going to make the highway speed limit 45 because the snow's scary. Well, actually, I mean, it's for the vehicles that are hard working trying to clear the snow away. But
Yeah, exactly.
when they put the snow plows out there, they're little blinky signs that say, go 45. And I'm just like, I get it. I respect it. Man, that feels really slow. It doesn't seem like the snow's that bad. A 9-box for Drago.
We actually made it to Portsmouth, New Hampshire before we started seeing snow.
Oh, good.
We left.
You got to drive home safely, you know. We love having you, Kevin, but you don't want to get in trouble out of there. 7 Phil Southall, 27 over.
Well, we left Bangor, Maine at like 7 o'clock in the morning. And I knew it was going to take about almost 3-4 hours just to get back.
Southall was going so well, I was so convinced he was going to take the 5-7-9. I feel like I've been short selling just how well he's been doing out there. That's 8. 25 over, but still. Drago trips on the cap en route. Last ball of this box. Seemed like he quickened up his tempo a bit, making sure he matched Southall's. Again, does not necessarily have to do that. He takes a 9-box. That may just be me reading into it, though. 4 horsemen and a 9. For Southall. Not outside it. Didn't get a piece of the head pin, trying to go outside on it. Drago's first ball of this frame. Head pin, yes, collects the 5-pin. Phew. That 5-pin was threatening to be a son of a gun, getting in the way there. Southall 8. Instead, triangle number 6 is available, but Drago's off target into the 10. Box 10. Southall wasting no time. 3-1 split. Drago for count. That's 10. And his 9th. Got a few splits to contend with. Speaking of, Southall, Wood didn't ramp the 2-pin into the 6. Drago's 10th box. Hits the head pin, and the 10-pin is all that's left. The box is 10 for Southall, I beg your pardon, 123. With those 4 spares, Drago a spare chance and a chance to go 100. Oh no, didn't get the plank there. And he's given up on the third ball there, so that'll be a 9 box. You saw him deploy it there, and that'll be a 90 string. Now over to Aaron Fontaine and Dave Barber. If one is competitive, I wouldn't throw the one ball away quite that easily there. But if you're having this sort of tournament where you just know you're not going to make the top 24, that's another matter.
Yeah.
So you're entitled to throw that ball at your pace, but on the other hand, it's understandable as well. Dave Barber, 7 fill, 66 at the half. Aaron Fontaine with the 4 horsemen, 4 and 7. Only the first head pin he's missed. Barber close. He recoiled at that one, thinking he had a go at that. Head pin, yes!
Oh, what a shot.
The pin came off the wall, off the 6, and rolled backwards into the 10. 75 and a ball through 6 for Aaron Fontaine. Dave Barber takes 9. The reset buttons are on the desk because of the Pro Score system in use, the same DOS-based console system used at Woburn Bowlodrome, FICO's Bowlodrome, Demanda's Bowling Center, past and present centers, respectively. Demanda's Bowling Center, better known as the Autumn Maori Center, featured on NPR. Dave Barber, 9 Fontaine, strike on spare.
And it's like I said, she's been doing such a good job with that place. All by herself.
Barber missed the 5 pin to the right. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, I do not have any kids, it's incredible feat of multitasking to be able to, do the things you love and while still raising a happy child. And I mean, you talk about the Maoris doing that, but also, how about the Barbers as well?
Running the pro tour,
running all this with kids, including a newborn. So she's growing quick, I tell you.
Oh yeah.
One time their beautiful daughter came over to and was pulling up the tape on the cord I have to run to the bowling center.
Yeah.
To which Allie quips, she's just letting you know the tape's not fully down.
Oh, double strike!
Fontaine, 2 strikes in a row.
Wow.
That's a red line audio moment right there. 10 in for Barber.
That's our second double we've seen today.
Ayot had the other. That's a spare, I believe. No, excuse me. I'm looking at that score sheet. It's a 10. I beg your pardon. They're still in right to left progression. Take that away. Barber takes aim. Ooh. Now the 5 pin won't wiggle, but the wood could spin across if Barber can play this 5 pin. But now the wood's drifting back towards the 7, and I don't think that's where he wants it. Fontaine on 2 in a row. The fill is high. It's not 10, but it's 9. And that goes on the first strike for a 29 box. Barber can't cut the 5. Fontaine surely 50 over now, but can he get another to go even higher? The box is 8. This is a spare try. It's good. Spare on double strike. As Paul says it, that's fair enough. 144 and a ball through 9. 54 over.
I think he's trying to take Blaze's top seat.
Thank you, Claudette and Ben. Great to have you here. Always appreciate you. Barber takes out 4. The spare fill, Aaron Fontaine. A pin goes out. And a 5 fill.
149 after 9. As Paul would say, the power of a double strike.
Not a 200, not interested. Ooh, just cherried the head pin. Made a strange sound as well as it went through. Hit it funny. A 9 box. And that's a 111. 111 for Barber. Fontaine wants pins too. Look at that. That goes for 9 anyway. The count's the objective, and he got it.
He tied Ayot with the high single for today.
That's right. Jimbo Ayot, 158. Aaron Fontaine, 158. You know, we've seen how these pins have been stymieing many a bowler today, so that's a good string.
So Nico just asked, are we looking closer to 6 o'clock for the elimination round? I'm going to say, Nico, that's probably a possibility.
It may not take that long. This is the last series of bowlers. After this programming note, we will disconnect this stream but start a new one in anticipation of the playoff round to come. So just like, follow, and subscribe to Candlepin Bowling Network. Like and follow on Facebook and subscribe on YouTube. And make sure you see every shot, including that 9 drop by Scott LaPierre for a 69 half. 3 mark half at that. That's 2 straight 19 boxes. Scott LaPierre is good at bowling. Spare Douglas, 3-1 conversion. Douglas only left 3 pins standing, and now he can build a good string. Close. Yes, that's a spare. That's a spare. Put that on the board. Mark it down. Call it what you want. 79 and a ball through 6. Looked like he clipped that red line just before it dropped into the gutter. A 4 drop for Scott Douglas. 61. Sorry, numbers are hard. 61 through 6. LaPierre frustrated with that. That's a momentum stopper, that half Worcester. Still 21 over, though. Still plenty of time to recover. Scott Douglas can't get to the head pin. You want to make sure you pin out of this one, though. No, that's curtain. Now we need an out. LaPierre's 21 over, but needs a lot of pins to stay on the course. Though does have 3 boxes after this in any case. Just doesn't want to take too much of a penalty. Scott does the prudent thing and goes for 9. Scott Douglas, that is. 70 through 7. LaPierre. Yeah, it's got the head pin. That's very good. 7 pins on the 3rd ball, 90 through 7. Lindy's is nice, yes. Here in Quincy, Massachusetts. It's got a lot going on, and yet it's no bigger than it needs to be. Very nice 16-lane bowling center and billiard hall right back there. Lovely people. Simple food and drink at affordable prices. Hard not to love it. Spread eagle for LaPierre.
How does that happen?
I'll never forget when Travis Falk, the executive producer, Douglas Spare, he actually narrated, did like a video diagram of it. And the second time LaPierre's lobbed a ball into the curtain, deployed one into the curtain, so needs another out here. He did it perfectly just about the last time. That's pretty good all told, a realistic out, a 7.
That is the out, but
Half the pins on the 3rd ball, that's my barometer. You leave all that, 3rd ball, get a sensible amount of pins, and carry on. Where's that 2-pin going?
Oh, my God.
That?
That's the second time that happened.
Watch the angle of that wood. Scott Douglas has a 6 fill on a spare right, did not mark. LaPierre tips the 10. And there's the 4-6. Yeah, that wood was angled in nicely for another spare. 3 in the past 4 for Scott Douglas. Wood is not going to roll off the wall for LaPierre. And 9 box.
Justin Waters is right next to me holding Dave Barber's daughter, and she's like, I want my dad, I want my dad.
Or I want to go bowling, one or the other. Who doesn't?
I do, but I'm not testing my ankle today.
7 fill for Scott Douglas. LaPierre on the head pin, full-ish, but got a check mark. Douglas, yes! 4 mark back half, 113 and a ball. That's why it matters to get those pins. LaPierre, not quite. There's 10. 116 for Scott LaPierre.
Here's the fill ball for Scott Douglas. And it's 9 fill.
There we go. Phil's a 4, 6, 7, and 9. Scott Douglas getting stronger as he goes. Although, that's the end of the qualifier. That's that. 122 for him. Now, we will have to tabulate the results here. And I think we'll just sign off here. There is some bowling ongoing, but I think it's better to just cut it here, and we will excuse ourselves and start a new stream so that all of you can find that as fast as possible. Do please come back here. Is that right, 158?
Yeah, that's correct.
Jimbo Ayotte had a 158 as well, so I think you guys are tied for the top. I just was breaking the news to Fontaine. He was tied the high single. But there you go. So we're going to sign off here for now, but please like, follow, and subscribe to Candlepin Bowling Network. And please join us for the next stream. The elimination round is coming